Hello everybody, welcome. This is the last workshop, the last Get Burn Savvy workshop, and I'm very excited. We are going to be burning this pattern from Elysian woods. I think I said that right. But this little mandala is the pattern that she's got. It is over on the website burnsavvy.com. If you go under the materials tab, you'll find the pattern there. Hello everybody, welcome. And Elysian Woods, she's pretty awesome. She's got a really cool line art style, and I really like it. She also has a book out. I'll have to go snag it, actually. It's sitting back there. I think I'm gonna go get it real quick. Hello. Oh, she's okay. Elysian Woods. Hey girl, so bummed I can't join you live tonight. Oh, bummer. Okay, that's all right. We would love to have you sometime though. I'm gonna go snag her book real quick. I should have thought of this earlier. But this is her book. Oh, it's gonna mirror image it, I think. But it's Modern Wood Burning. Very pretty. It has a lot of really cool projects in it. I think it's a fantastic little project book. So if you guys have a chance to check that out, you should. Hello, Mommy's Pyro. Hello. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to turn this around. There we go. Let me turn on my lights. It's starting to get dark. There we go. Okay, and you guys should let me know in the comments if you are burning with me or if you're just watching tonight or what you're up to. There we go. Okay, so if you have not burned with me before, what I like to do is I cut out the pattern about 1/2 inch to 1 inch smaller than the wood piece that I'm using. And then I'll tape it on using like a painter's tape or an artist tape or something like that. And once I have that on, then I can transfer it. And I'm using carbon paper. You can use graphite paper too, just something like that to transfer it. And then I use this little embossing tool, or nail daughter, or star daughter, or whatever you want to call it. And I use that to trace it on. Then every now and again, you just want to make sure it's actually tracing. And I am super excited about this design. I think it's got a lot of beautiful detail. And as always, in all of my workshops, if you have questions, please feel free to pop on in the comments and ask away. I will do my best to answer what I can. And since it's just me tonight, I think I'm going to take some votes on music. You guys have any thoughts on what you guys want to hear while we're burning? Oh, let's see. I love this pattern. Can't wait to burn it when I get home in a few days. Yes! It's gorgeous. I love this pattern. I thought Dana did just such a beautiful job on this one. And when you do burn it, you should tag us so we can see it, because I love to see everybody's interpretations of the designs. That's probably one of my favorite things of all of that's come out of all of this, is seeing everybody and their own unique style using a pattern and making it their own. it's been fabulous to see. There we go. Where am I? I'm losing my place a lot tonight. And if you, when you're tracing your pattern, if you lose your space and that bugs you, Moss Tangle had a really good tip for that when we were doing her workshop. She said that you use a brightly colored pen, and then you know exactly where you've been. You can see exactly what you've traced. I thought that was pretty brilliant. I've used a pencil before, and I feel like it muddies things up, but at the same time you can tell exactly where you've been. But I love the idea of the colorful pen. There we go. Oh, fix that there. It's coming along, huh? Oh, let's see. Do you prefer freehand or tracing? When it's my own design, I definitely prefer freehand. When I'm burning someone else's, though, I actually really like transferring it with the carbon paper. And then I get it fairly exact. But if it's my own design, I would just rather sketch it. And then you want to make sure that you transfer it lightly, or that you sketch it lightly, just in case you want to erase it, because sometimes that wood just holds on to those pencil marks and it just doesn't want to erase. And that can get very annoying pretty fast. Let's see, where am I? There we go. I hope I didn't just move that. There we go. Okay. So I have to confess, this is actually the first mandala, how do you say that? The first mandala I have ever done. I'm very excited to try it. There we go. I'm sure you guys can hear Miss Happiness in the back. Don't worry, she is okay. Dad's taking good care of her. All right, getting close here. let's see. Oh, just one more. And then we transfer the middle. I got asked today about transfer paper. And they had bought some graphite paper that was supposed to be white, and it didn't actually transfer anything. And at first I thought it was tracing paper, so I was trying to explain the difference between tracing paper and graphite and carbon, and she was like, oh no, I know. I was actually looking for white tracing or white transfer paper because she wanted to transfer it to something that was already very dark. And so I thought that was like, oh, right. The white stuff, that's like Choco paper. That's pretty good for transferring. Okay, I think we're set. Let's see, what's your favorite thing to draw or burn? I love to draw people. Love to draw people. And just realistic things in general. And I also have found that I really enjoy florals and nature scenes, but a lot of florals. I'm kind of into those right now. That's really fun. Okay, so I am going to use, let's see, can you see that? I'm going to use this knife tip from Colwood. For those of you who are curious, because somebody always asks, I'm using a Colwood detailer, and I'm right now on about a heat of like 5.5. I'm just going to kind of test this on my wood. Excuse me. Oh, yeah, I'm going to test this on my wood and see how it does. Okay, I think 5.5 is going to be... Okay, it just said it was reconnecting. I hope you guys didn't blip out there too much on your end. But I'm the 5.5 is the heat that I'm at, and it looks like that's going to work. I might turn it a little hotter in a little while, but for now, this is going to work. Oh, I was going to turn on that music. I'm going to finish this first. That curved in a little more than I wanted it to. There we go. All right, I'm going to turn on that music. Let's see here. Something instrumental. Oh, but there's I found some instrumental songs on Amazon, and they just sounded like business advertisements. It was kind of funny. I'm like, oh, well, I don't know that I really want to listen to that tons and tons. All right. think geometry is so beautiful, and I love to see it, but I don't feel like I'm very good at it. So this is going to be testing those skills. I love the mandala that you've got in your book too, Dana. I think it's beautiful. There we go. There we go. So another quick tip for those of you who may be starting out, I like to turn my wood instead of my hand. I find that it's a lot easier on my hands. Oh, on my hands, especially with the wire, because the wire sometimes will, I don't know, it just makes it kind of hard for me to turn my wrist, and I already have like pain in my wrist. I don't need more. So nib for tonight's burn. This nib is, that's a great question, by the way. This nib is really good at lines that are really clean, and because it kind of cuts into the wood a little bit, it makes it easier to draw a straight line. So I have others that I will use for rounded surfaces more, but because this had really long straight areas, I thought that this would be a better nib. When I get to actually some of those rounded areas, like right in here and stuff, I might switch to a different nib. And that is actually something I think that gets overlooked is the nibs that you already have. A lot of times nibs are more versatile than we give them credit for. You can use a lot of nibs for a lot of purposes. I think the biggest thing, if you are not sure about which nib you should use for which project, it's really important to just grab that nib and go practice on some pieces and figure out what it is. Try all the techniques, try all the styles with that one tip, that one nib, and that will help you to well, just be a better artist, to understand your tools better. And then you can make the choice for what you like best, because I know some people, they prefer different tips for the straight lines, and it's because they have tried it. They know what they like, they know what they want. So I would always recommend that to everybody. Take your nibs and try them. on everything. I want you to try line art. I want you to try shading. I want you to try lettering, straight lines, curved lines, all that. For example, this one actually it heats up slower than, say, like a oh boy, now I can't think of what it is, or I should say it heats up faster than a ballpoint. And those ones that have the fine lines, a lot of times, because they're all the way at the very, very end, and that's the only spot that's touching the wood, those will a lot of times take more heat, which I find so interesting. There we go. Oh, that's right. That's where I forgot. Let's see here. So I'm going to put in, looks like there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'll put 1 in here. Well, get myself a little reference line here. So Dana, if you feel, or if you have any tips or anything like that that you want to share with people too, feel free to pipe in and share that too. Oh, let's see. I've broken a couple straight edge tips from burning too hot. Yes, that's easy to do. It is easy to do. I've bent some tips and definitely mutilated a couple of them. It's easy to do when they get so hot. The wood or the metal gets soft, and then it's easy to bend or break. turn that one around. So I know, Dana, I know that you like to burn with some pretty hot tips there. Oh, let's see. I'll come back to that. Hang on. I always recommend this tip for lines. I feel like we should make our lives easier and use the best tips for the technique. Yep. But I also understand that everyone has their preferences. Totally. Totally. Well, and I feel like too that there are a couple of different tips that you can use for each kind of technique, and then you just decide which one works best for you, you know? And then you know which one you like best if you've tried them all. And then you've got people who just have a favorite tip and they just stick with it. Oh, I was going to say, Dana, that I know that you work with pretty high heat on some of your pieces. You like to black out backgrounds and all that stuff. I'm thinking about that elephant piece that you did forever ago. I thought it was so gorgeous. So, so gorgeous. Just skip that song. This is my Get Her Done playlist. This is my I Can Do This playlist. Oh, of course. There we go. I'm going to turn that back around. So I know I want to shade in a couple of these spots, just a couple of edges, but I'm debating whether I should add color or not. Because this one, you could really have some fun with the color. Yeah. Oh, I forgot to share too that I am burning on, gosh, on poplar. That's the word. I have no words tonight. Oh, how am I liking TikTok? Well, I think it's actually, it's fun. It's kind of addicting. I just started uploading like, gosh, maybe 2 days ago, 3 days ago, maybe. And it's been fun. It's been very interesting to see what people put out there. Very different platform than any of the other platforms, any of the big ones anyway. I think it's interesting. And Dana, when did you start yours? I know that you've been on for a little while too. You've got some fun videos. Yes, there's definitely a learning curve. And I think that's true of any social media, you know? When I first found Instagram, I had no idea what I was doing. I was into Pinterest, and Instagram was just kind of I don't know. In my mind, it was like, I don't know. I just loved Pinterest. And so I was like, I don't know if I want to get into it. And now that I've figured it out, it's Instagram is addicting, you know? So I'm pretty sure it'll be exactly the same way. Let's see. Oh, you started 2 weeks ago? Not many artists on there. Yes. Yes. I've decided that we all need to go do a TikTok takeover. I would love to see more artists over there. I think that that would be a really good platform for just kind of showing a lot of those process videos, you know? People love to watch that. I love to watch it. I need to get exploring more over there on TikTok. With all my extra time. You know how it is, Dana. When you got kids, the whole, you know, virus thing did not slow down our lives. If anything, it made it go faster. It made it just a little crazier. All that kind of stuff. I had a couple of kids in school, and they went on spring break and never went back. So felt like summertime started early and I wasn't ready. I had plans to get stuff done. Oh, good morning from Greece. It's 5 a.m. That's early. Well, good morning to you too. In Greece. That's really cool. Okay, I think I'm going to bring this up at the end here, but I don't know if I'm going to keep the curves with this nib. "5 a.m. I wonder what it's like over there in Greece right now. How's the weather?" See, Dana, where are you at now? I'm trying to remember. Over here, I'm in the Arizona mountains, and it is just now starting to get uncomfortably warm. Down in the Phoenix Valley, it's been hot, but thankfully I'm up in the mountains, so I've escaped all that heat. This is really fun. I tell you, I have really enjoyed burning different artists' work. It has just been really fun for me. Try something new. I love trying new things anyway, but it's always fun to just take a chance on something else, you know. Let's see. I'm in Ohio, where we practically have every season, every day. Yes, yes. Sometimes the weather gets so moody and it's like, okay, would you just pick? Because I had a sweater on and now I wish I was in shorts. Oh, that's funny. Discussing weather, and then we're listening to this song that says, "Bring on the rain." Timely, I think. Hello, friends joining. Okay, I'm gonna switch my nib here. And I know I want to use a ballpoint for the big round edges. I'm just debating if I want to keep the ballpoint for the other curves. I shouldn't say round edges, for the big dots. Let's see here, right here. Oh, like I said, got to turn that ballpoint higher. You'll have to excuse some of the old songs. I like some of those older songs. And the newer songs, I like it all. Oh, now it's too hot. There we go. I'm gonna have to come back in and finish my lines there. All right, I'm gonna turn this down just a hair. So I'm at a 6 now, level 6 heat. And I think I'm gonna turn it down some more. So Dana, I saw on your firework that you were doing lettering, and you were just doing such smooth lettering. It was really fun to watch. So I was just wondering, what tip do you use for that typically? And you should tell us why you like it. I'm not loving this tip right now, but maybe I just need to move faster. I think I might switch to my writing nib for that, for these lines here. Yeah, let's see. Except I'm liking it for some other, I want to use it for right across here. So I think stippling would be really cool in these little circle areas. Let's see, what am I not liking about the ballpoint? I feel like it's catching on my wood a little more than I want it to right now. So that's why I'm not liking it. But you know, when you get a really hot heat and then just press lightly, then that works. It usually works. So point. Just tends to cut into the wood a little bit more, and it kind of helps me to make that straight line. Get that guy on. Let's see, random question. Do you use a certain type of colored pencils on wood? Dana, you should pipe in on this too. I think I've seen you use colored pencils too. For me, it just kind of depends on what I want to use. There are the oil-based colored pencils, and there are wax-based colored pencils. And sometimes that makes a difference on what type of finish you want to use. Ooh, I gotta turn my heat down. But I really love my Prismacolors. I think they're pretty fabulous. So, if that answers your question, there you go. That's blobbing too. I actually just did a page on finishes, and it talks a little bit about the colored pencils. I don't know if I actually talked about the wax bloom and all that kind of stuff, but colored pencils, if they are wax, then over time they might start to look a little faded or dusty or whatever, and that's because it's called wax bloom, and the pigment kind of falls underneath it and kind of sticks to the wood, and then the wax itself comes up to the top. So it's a really good idea to, right after you've finished your piece, to add a sealant to keep it from blooming. Let's see here. I've only used these watercolored pencils on wood, but my favorite will always be watercolor. Watercolor is so fun. I love watercolor on wood. And then burnt toast. Yay, I have Prismacolors. Yes, bust them out. They're awesome. I think they are wax-based though, so make sure that you add a sealant to it. And Elysian Woods, you use the Arteza brand. Is it Arteza or Arteza? Me and my pronunciations. I'm just making stuff up here. But I do like Arteza. I like them. I think they're a good brand. I have a bunch of their watercolors and love them. I want to start exploring with them more. Try some new stuff. Then again, I might just go back to the galaxies because I really loved those. It was really fun to make galaxies with watercolor. There we go. All right, and because this is a writing tip, this one actually heats up way faster than both of those other tips, the flat knife tip and the ballpoint. So I had to turn my heat down. There we go. There. Yeah, those lines are getting cleaner. Yes. Oh. There we go. I find also that when I am making my lines, I like to kind of make the whole line if I can help it, and then go back in and touch up any spot that didn't quite burn as smoothly as I wanted it to. Let's see. What do you like to burn for fun? Techniques, subjects, anything. So, lots of things, but I really enjoyed burning different mediums. So like bone, and bone's been a fun one. It smells bad, but it's really cool because the canvas that you have is this white background. So it makes it really pop when it's burned. And I really enjoy that. Paper is also really fun. Oh, wow. My shaky hand decided my line should go over there instead. Let's see, what else is fun? There are lots of fun things. I like to burn everything, but I love to do the shading stuff. I know I said I like to draw people, but I have always been specifically drawn to eyes. That is, to me, just such a poignant part of the human body, because it just speaks volumes. And I know we've all heard this a million times over, so I don't need to go over it too much. But you know, the eye is the window to the soul, and I have always, I was told once that they were really hard to draw, and so in my typical fashion, because I'm told, hey, that's hard, I'm like, well, it can't be that hard. So then I started drawing them and I got really into them. That was like grade school. I got really into it. And then in high school, they would, I remember in English class, I had a friend turn around and she said, your notes are staring at me, because I had drawn all these eyeballs in the margins because I was practicing and listening to my teacher, of course. So those are some of the things that I really love. You should pipe in with some of yours too. Hello from Panama. Panama, your art is beautiful. Thank you. This is the pattern from Elysian Woods, and I love it so far. But I find that natural subjects that aren't human are a lot easier to burn, like flowers and mountains and all that kind of stuff. It's just more forgiving, and in that way, I feel like I have more freedom to just kind of do as I please, and I have the freedom to make mistakes, and I have the freedom to just make it my own if I want to. I would like to start adding more geometry though to it, because I think there's real beauty in geometry, and some of this more modern feel with the crisper lines and stuff. I want to see if I can start adding some of that in, just for fun, just to try it. I'm going to need to darken those lines. Shading is definitely so fun to get lost in. Yes, and boy, can you get lost in shading. I noticed your portrait, by the way, Dana. It's looking so good. I think shading is one of those things that it can be painstakingly slow unless you enjoy the journey, and then it just becomes this mesmerizing thing, you know. You just get lost in it, like you said. It's really fun. We can go back in and clean some of those up in a little while. So Dana, what other things do you like to burn just for fun? Subjects, all that kind of stuff. Yeah. Gotta thicken that up so it matches the other sides. All right, now I'm gonna get that middle here. And I don't know if you guys can see this, but I'm purposefully getting some light colored or lighter lines back here, and then darker lines in the middle, just to add contrast, because I feel like that's one of those things. I know I harp on it, but I think that's one of those things that as a pyrography community we can do better with, is using contrast, because sometimes we will add so much and overdo it, and then it kind of hides in all of that shading or all of the darkness, the dark and broody. And then it, if it's too light, then you can't see all the beautiful work that you did. And so I think it's really a good idea and good practice to add more contrast. All right, back to here. Oh, let's see. The instrument he uses is a pyrography. Yep, this is pyrography. I remember when I first discovered that pyrography was actually a thing. I knew that wood burning was a thing, or at least I had just been introduced to wood burning, and I thought, well, it's got to have like a name. And I got online, I was like, oh my goodness, pyrography. It actually has a full-fledged name. And if you look at the Greek roots of it, I know they say it's pyrography, writing with fire, but what I read was that graphy is actually science or art. And so if you have pyro, which is the root word, or which is fire with the Greek root word, and then you have graphy, which is the art or science of, then you have the art of fire, the science of fire. I love that. I think that's fun. I've always been a bit of a pyro. And I was super drawn to this because it smelled so good when I was burning. You guys know how it goes. It smells wonderful. And it's always interesting when you burn the different woods. They all have a different scent, and it smells wonderful. Yes, love that. Yes. There we go. Yeah, cool facts. I'm full of all kinds of random, really useful, actually unuseful facts. Now, because I went over this with, or I didn't exactly follow every line there, I'm going to go ahead and erase it. And I should probably put the plug out there again. This is the, see if it'll clear up, the Tombow sand eraser. And it's an ink eraser, but it actually has sand in it. And I've used other ink erasers and they're fine. They're okay. But this one with the sand in it is the perfect mix between sandpaper and an eraser. It's fabulous for your wood. Oh, let's see. Mandalas always remind me of the spirograph in the 90s. Yes, where you took the pen and went around with the two plastic pieces. Yes. Obviously, mandalas are much prettier, but the symmetry of it reminds me of that. Yep. Yep, I can totally see that. That was satisfying then, too. And I like to erase before I start shading, and I'm definitely going to add some shading to this. Oh my goodness, I just noticed the time though. We've only got like 2 minutes left. Oh, that's a bummer. I really enjoyed this. So I will probably switch back to my itty bitty shader. Oh, where is it? I will switch back to, not back, I didn't use this one yet, but I will use this little tiny shader to start shading in some of those spaces. But if you guys haven't already, you guys should go follow Dana from Elysian Woods. This was her little pattern, and it's over there on Burn Savvy. Oh, that was be timing for you. Sorry. But if you haven't already, go follow her. The pattern is over on burnsavvy.com. If you go to the materials section, and it's there along with other patterns that you can get for free, and just download it. I've had several artists that were so graciously willing to share their art with us, which to me was just wonderful. I have really enjoyed burning everybody's patterns. So just make sure if you do it, we want to see it. So go tag us and use the hashtag #GetBurnSavvy so that we can see it. And oh, thank you for hosting. Yeah, you're welcome every week. It has been really fun to burn these together. I've really enjoyed it. I'm so grateful. And yes, you're welcome, Dana. And thank you for coming and joining me. Thank you for being willing to share your art. It has just been so wonderful to see what everybody has come up with as far as the patterns. And then it's really fun to see what everyone comes up with their own art or using those patterns. So anyway, you guys all have a fabulous night. Take care. This is the last workshop, but I might do some down the road again sometime. We shall see. In the meantime, go find Elysian Wood. She's on Instagram. She's also on Etsy. And then I have a shading course that is coming up. So be watching for that. Let's see. Oh, quick question before the end. What temperature do you shade at? It depends on the wood. If I have a softer wood, I'll shade somewhere around like 4.5 to 5.5. If it's a hardwood, I'll probably shade in the 5.5 to 6.5 area. So just depends. Anyway, ciao for now, everybody. Have a good night.